The following program is brought to you by the National Commission for Families and Children in collaboration with the National Parenting Task Force and UNICEF.
My name is Damon Ferguson. I attend Edward P. Ark High School and I have been blind since the age of 3.
My name is Gabriel Alputre and I was diagnosed with spina bifida from birth.
My name is Ariana Lopez. I'm 13 years old and I have CP. I have been in my chair since birth. I have always been in my wheelchair.
My name is Prabang. I 17. Jatakdul.
My name is Trevon Arzu. I'm 11 years old and I cannot read.
What I enjoy to do is playing video games.
For fun, I enjoy singing and hanging out with my family.
For fun, I watch a lot of TikToks.
I get to dance. I fall with my friend. I happier because food.
I guess the two biggest challenges have to be people and the way how things are built in terms of construction.
My biggest challenge is completing school.
My biggest problem is my attention span short.
I don't see visually impaired as a disability. Maybe it is, but certain stuff we might need help, but when you get the hang of it, you won't really need people to help us that much.
Every challenge you meet, you take it with a smile, you take it graciously, and you meet it head on.
I am most grateful for my family.
Grateful my teacher and my classmates.
I'm most grateful for my mom.
What I'm most grateful for are three things. That would be for family, for friends, and for life.
Don't be ashamed of your disability. Just because you're in a wheelchair, that doesn't mean you're incapable to not have fun.
No fear. Be yourself.
Not be ashamed of it because nobody can tell that you can read. You just have to try eventually.
For all parents out there who have disabled kids, have patience, respect, and a lot of value to them.
If you want your fitness to learn, you have to have patience and try to help them as much as you can.
People tend to look at the wheelchair and be like, oh, he doesn't know this or he doesn't know that. But if you get to know who I am and get to know the knowledge that I'm willing to share with everybody, then you'd learn that I'm like everybody else. Getting up and coming to work every day is an inspiration, it is motivation, it is energy because you're alive, and it is my passion to do IT, to meet customers, to see smiles on customers' faces.
Hello?
Hi, Arlene. I need your help, girl. I'm in need of a friend right now. What happened is that I got a doctor right now with Trey, and the doctor is telling me that there's something wrong with him.
Wrong? What do you mean?
Yes, the doctor is saying that he autistic. I not even know that with that.
Autistic? Okay, listen, are you home with the kids, all right? As soon as you finish from the doctor, you come over.
Thanks, Arlene. See you soon.
Come in, Marissa. Come in. Sit down.
Thanks.
What's happening? Talk to me.
Well, Arlene, Dr. Demetri autistic, you know.
Autistic how? Because I know it falls within a spectrum.
Yeah, well, The doctor explained to me that how non-verbal autism or non-speaking autism is when a child commits sounds, but they cannot use words. And if they do, it's very limited. And you know, Trey, he's 3, and he doesn't speak any at all. Plus, there's more to that too,
What do you mean more?
Well, Arlene, we noticed that Trey is not interested in interacting with nobody, Even with his own brother and sister, Trey doesn't even play. And this started from when he 18 months, But I think he just shy. And he have these emotional outbursts, And then he get frustrated because he can't express himself. And then on top, he just screams and throw himself on the ground.
Oh, wow, that's a lot. I didn't know all of that was happening.
Yes, Serlene, but make her tell her today that made the last straw. Dre bite Mikey, so hard that when I try wrestle with her, it try bite me too, But I think it really doesn't understand right from wrong, no matter how much times I tell her,
Wow.
Yes, and then for the past 2 months, he started to hit himself when he get flustered. No, this that when I tell Victor, we need to get this child checked out.
Well, that's a good move you make, because it's good for you to know. You had to know so that you know how to move forward and how you deal with Trey.
Well, Arlene, I really don't know how I cope with this, because, I work so hard and then I have to pick me home who need my help as well. And Victor, oh Lord. Oh, he will tell me he never want no other picnic and look where happened.
Hey. Calm down, look at me. You're gonna be fine, all right? We're gonna figure this out. And Victor, parents deal with things differently. So this is just Victor's way of coping. But when you see Victor and Trey together, there's nothing but love, you see. We want to figure this out, man.
I really hope so, Arlene.
And I have a friend at work where her son autistic too. He doesn't speak, but he uses the actions. If he want water, he bring a cup. If he want juice, he bring a little sippy cup. If he want food or he hungry, he bring a plate. And the best part for she right now is that he potty trained. She happy.
Wow. Well, I will do what I have to do. And trust me, Arlene, I will be a great mommy for Trey.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just need to figure this out.
Exactly. Always remember that your children are not defined by any disabilities. And you have done Supermom already. You're number 1 priority. You want to figure this out, man. You want to handle this well. Don't worry about nothing.
Well, thank you so much, Arlene. I may really need this, I may really need this.
Boy, whenever the need is, I want their feel,
Thank
okay?
you so much. So
All right.
now I get back home to my picnic. Thank you so
All right, don't worry about nothing, man. Don't worry about nothing.
Thanks.
You want to figure this out. Don't worry.
Definitely,
Yeah, you okay.
definitely.
All right?
An estimated 13 to 15% of Belize's population have some kind of disability, and Lil Trey was now a part of that statistic. It was a confusing time for both Miss Marissa and her husband. They went from shock to being scared while holding out hope that the diagnosis was wrong. When they finally accepted that Trey was autistic, they then started to worry if they would be able to get and afford the support they needed for Trey in Belize. Well, Miss Marissa was determined to provide the best care for Trey and did not waste time to reach out to every agency that dealt with disabilities. When she said she was going to figure it out, she meant it.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Full Tech Systems. How may I help you?
I come back again for one of the ink, but they write it down for me, so I get the correct one, so I don't carry back full.
All right, here's the ink that you need, sir.
All right then.
Do you like my chair? This is what I use to move around. This is my mode of transportation. And you see the ramp out there? That's what I use to come inside this building.
That's so cool, but how do you work? Why do you work?
So I'm an independent man, just like your Uncle Pablo. And they hired me here from a very young age. IT was what I was destined to do. I loved messing with computer parts. And so that's why I need to work, and that's why the wheelchair hasn't stopped me from working.
But what if you need to run?
I get that question a lot, but I can't run, but I can move very fast in my wheelchair. This is how I move, and just like how you're able to walk, this is how I'm able to move, and so I can move very fast in my wheelchair.
So Christian, having a disability doesn't limit your life.
Yes, I'm grateful for the opportunity that Full Tech Systems has given me to being able to work. And being disabled does not take away from my right to being able to work.
All right, thank you very much for your time. Make I go pay for this thing because it's been asked a lot of questions.
That's so cool. Oh, and yes, I do like your chair. The only thing missing is a cave.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You really have to love the curiosity of kids, especially Christians. That boy literally would ask questions until the store closes. But Gabriel was so engaging and welcomed his questions. He gave Christian a deeper understanding of the world through the eyes of a disabled person. Even though some things may seem difficult or even impossible, with a strong mind, motivation, and support, anything is possible. It also showed Christian that there are people out there willing to give opportunities to disabled persons to live the best lives possible.
What is consent and how does it apply to sex? When it's about giving permission for sexual activity, it's quite simple and clear. No one under the age of 16 can legally give permission for or agree to any sexual activity. Period. It's illegal. Unlawful sexual intercourse. Get it? Consent also cannot be given under force or deceit, so lying to get consent or forcing someone to have sex, that's not consent. Oh, and people with mental disabilities cannot give consent either. Children under the age of 16 are just not mentally developed enough to consent to sexual activity. And anyone who has sex with someone under the age of 16 is a criminal. Even if they said they were 16, there is no excuse. These criminals go to prison for 5 to 10 years, and if that child is under 14, it's 12 years to life imprisonment. And even if 2 children under the age of 16 engage in sexual activity, that is also illegal, and they may be held responsible. Sex and consent are very serious issues. Don't make a mistake that may ruin your life and someone else's.
Your child depends on you for protection. So if you have seen or been told that they're being abused, report it to the police immediately. While reporting, make sure to ask that a social worker is present during the process. Finally, make sure that your child does not have to repeat the story over and over. Report child abuse by calling 227-3898 or 0800-PROTECT or 0800-A-WAY-OUT.
What does family mean to you? Form a strong bond with your family.
Hey sis, how's his friend?
Always remember, they may not be in the same place.
Coffee and friends, huh?
Make the time you spend together fun and memorable. Ignore the petty differences. Love them while you still can. Life can be short.
I did it!
You can be the glue that keeps them together.
You did a great job. Congratulations.
Family. Meaningful always.
Are you feeling stressed and worried? These are stressful times, so it's understandable. Let's take a quick pause together. Sit down, close your eyes, and listen to your breath as it goes in and out. Open your eyes again. Notice how you feel. Remember, it's important to take care of yourself first so that you can take care of your children.
So, let's talk about the sexual exploitation of children, or, in simpler terms, children being encouraged to perform sexual acts in exchange for money or favors. Parents, guardians, children, Belize. The sexual exploitation of children happens every day, around our schools, playgrounds, and even our homes. This is a fact. Sexual predators, even some your children trust, are convincing your children that it's okay to have sexual relations in exchange for money, gifts, food, or other benefits. But it is not. Know that any person who has knowledge and encourages or allows this sexual exploitation commits a serious crime and is liable to imprisonment for 12 years, even other children over the age of 12. Wake up. Your children deserve more than this. They depend on you to keep them safe. Protect them from this disgusting trade and report any persons sexually exploiting and abusing children directly or indirectly to the Department of Human Services at 0800 PROTECT. Children, if anyone touches you or makes you touch them in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable and offers you money, food, gifts, or favors, know that they are doing something wrong and illegal to you. Stay away from them and report them to a trusted adult or call the Department of Human Services at 0800 PROTECT. There are other ways to get help. No more sugar daddies or sugar mamas. We can all do our part. Belize, let's protect our children.
Hi guys, how are you doing?
Good.
How are you doing?
Good.
Are you guys excited to be at the library?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to read you a book today.
Okay.
And the book is called Climb, Walk, Dive, The Adventures of Rowan Garrell. Do you guys know who he is?
No.
We're going to find out. It says Rowan is a small boy who is blind with a big plan. He wanted to help the BCVI, which is the Belize Council for Visually Impaired. He wanted to help them save their summer camp, where children who are blind or visually impaired from all over Belize get to come together to learn, grow, and have fun. He was an 11-year-old boy who would save his summer camp. How? He decided to go on a big adventure. He and his dad would climb the tallest mountain in Belize, Victoria Peak. So Rowan and his dad Joe began training by walking for miles and miles every day. Along the way, Rowan heard a flock of scarlet macaws squawking over their heads. Joe even saw jaguar tracks. Look at how big the tracks were. You see the paws to Rowan's hand? The climb to the top was hard, but Rowan had his dad, and they never gave up.
He's over the clouds.
Yes, you see? So after he finished climbing, he went to walk across Belize. The walk began one early morning from the town of Benquevejo, close to the border between Belize and Guatemala. This time, Rowan had many more friends with him. What does someone do after they climb the tallest mountain in Belize and walk across the country? If you're an adventurer like Rowan, you dive the blue hole. Look at how beautiful the blue hole is.
Wouldn't that be dangerous?
I bet it would have, but Rowan was brave, and he had a lot of people with him who helped him. Rowan dove Belize. He swam alongside sea turtles and was even able to rub the turtle. Have you ever touched a turtle's shell?
One day I saw a turtle and then I touched the shell.
Wow, have you? So sea turtles are massive turtles, probably the size of you guys.
Yeah.
and he got to touch a huge sea turtle, which is really cool because you don't get to see sea turtles a lot. Rowan's tenacity and compassion have helped raise awareness not about his disability, but about his abilities and those of all children who are blind or visually impaired. There is no doubt that he will continue to impact the lives of everyone he meets. Do you guys like Rowan?
Yes.
Do you think he's cool?
Yeah.
I think so too. So guess what? We're going to speak to Rowan right now. Do you want to speak to him?
Yeah. Yes.
Ready?
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Rowan. I'm a big fan, and I've followed all of your accomplishments. And you know, I've been following you from you've climbed Victoria Peak and dived the Blue Hole. And I just want you to know that you are an inspiration to kids.
Thank you very much. I just want to show that we can have a normal life as well.
Are you guys excited?
Yes.
So they all get to ask you a question, and they've been going through these questions for a while. So who wants to start?
Me.
Okay, we're going to start with Annie. Annie, you get to ask Rowan the first question.
Hi. How can you watch TV?
So her question, Rowan, is if you watch the TV, and if so, who is your favorite movie character?
So I really like Marvel movies, superhero movies. And my favorite Marvel superhero is actually Captain America, because I think that he, no matter what, he tries to do the right thing, and I can respect that.
Who is your favorite character from the Marvel?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is your favorite? Okay.
Oh, Spider-Man is great.
Okay, Christian, what's your question?
How can you get the prices if you can't see?
So there are different ways of getting from one place to another. We can use GPS on our phone sometimes. The best way and the easiest way, especially if you're traveling with someone as a blind person, is that I would take your arm and I would walk beside you. This works really well if the place is crowded, because that way I won't get separated from you and I can follow easily. So that's typically what I would do.
Okay, who wants to ask the next question?
How can you play games?
I do play games. I love dice games. One of my favorites is Yahtzee. I play it on my phone all the time.
Okay, he likes games. He plays them on his phone all the time because the games, they talk. Okay, and last but not least is Liam. Liam, what's your question?
How can you help a blind person if they need help?
I love that question, actually. The most important thing you can do when you want to help a blind person is to ask us how you can best help. So, you know, there are a lot of people who want to come and just grab us and take our arm or drag us about the place. That actually feels really bad. It feels scary. When you approach someone who is blind, you can ask, do you need help? And if they say yes, you ask, what do you need from me? How can I help you? And that we can tell you.
I have a question. My question is, what would you say to any kid, any child at home watching you speak to these kids today? Any words of motivation?
The most important thing, more than being inspiration, more than being great for being blind and being able to do things, we just want to have normal experiences, right? So the most important thing is for us to be taught, you know, how to use the stove, how to wash dishes, how to help in the house, because if we can be taught that from a very early age, it really helps us to feel normal and to feel useful and equal. It's very important for us to be able to do as much as possible. And if we need help, absolutely, that's fine, but it's important for us to have those experiences.
Thank you, Rowan.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Rowan is such a great example of not being defined by our disabilities. His parents were committed to giving him the best chance at life by living it at its fullest. Through his courage and the support of his parents, Rowan accomplished many feats, such as climbing the Victoria Peak, diving the Great Blue Hole, and even walking across Belize. He became an inspiration and a superhero, of course, for many kids who read and know his story. We need more of that in the world. People who prove the fear of limits wrong and push themselves, and those around them to take life head on. If you would like more information on how to access services for children with disabilities in Belize, you can contact Care Belize for children with physical disabilities from birth to 6 years. For the blind or visually impaired, you can contact the Belize Council for the Visually Impaired, which has offices countrywide. For children on the autism spectrum, contact Autism Belize or visit their website at autismbelize.org. The Inspiration Center is an outpatient rehabilitation center in Belize City for children with disabilities from birth to 16 years. You can also contact Mrs. Deshane Gutierrez Lopez, a registered clinical psychologist, to get a diagnosis for your child. The preceding program was brought to you by the National Commission for Families and Children in collaboration with the National Parenting Task Force and UNICEF.